Oh, hello again. In for our last little stint of this morning, the 8th of February 2023. Not bad weather out there, except as it was a pretty heavy fog first thing this morning, and some of it is still hanging around. So if you're out there driving, particularly, be very, very careful. Pleasant, but it can be deceptive. All right, for our last little offering of the day, we're just going to look back to what we simply call Program 1. And Program 1 is a little trip through the town. All right. Okay, I'll see you at the end of it. Hi, welcome to Mirador Television. This is local TV, but probably not local TV as you know it. We don't have much cash, so for one thing, we have to do much of our stuff outside. We don't even have a studio. So we don't even have a weather presenter. But we will try to bring you the weather. So when you see me with an umbrella, it's raining. So when I have my walking stick, it's fine. If my hat blows off, it's windy. And if I'm wearing a bikini, it's hot. Not that you're going to see me in a bikini very often. The body's gone, you see. Not a pretty sight. But when it comes to mixed weather, well, we really have a problem. It's silly of us to serve up the same old rubbish that you can see on regular television, so we're serving up rubbish of our own. But I hope that it's nutty enough to bring you back to watch us again. Stick with us, Nutty TV. Now, what's what? what is a weekly look about the interesting things that happen in our town. Those of us who live here know about them, but to a visitor, they might find them very interesting. This is ancient Keir Street. It's said that in the early 1800s, the Prince Regent won a bet by driving a coach and four down it. The Norman Castle in Lewes, though small, is one of the oldest in the country. A wooden Saxon fort stood on the mound until 1080. Then William de Varenne, the first Lord of Lewes, built this stone bailey as his stronghold. A tiny castle for a tiny town. Famous celebrations of November the 5th. They're huge. Almost every one of the townsfolk takes part. It goes way back before the gunpowder plot to Queen Mary's burning of religious martyrs in the centre of the town in 1556. Free beer? Of course not. But this pub, the Brewer's Arms, is one of several independently owned pubs in the town. At one time in the 1800s, Lewes had 63 pubs and 17 breweries, and just a population of 9,000, but no free beer. Well, there are the Mirador cameras trying to keep a visual record of what goes on in the town. The famous Bluebell Railway, 11 miles of track carrying lovingly restored steam trains from Sheffield Park, just outside Lewes, to East Grinstead. The line opened in 1882. As the name suggests, the railway runs through wonderful bluebell woods, worth every puff. This is indeed a rare sight. Southern Rail was on strike so frequently, trains in motion were not often seen. This is the annual raft race down the River Ouse from Lewes to Newhaven. It's more than 40 years old. It raises funds for charity and contestants build their own rafts and try to sink the opposition. Staying with water, this is a lovely spot in Lewes known as the Pells. It was given to the town in 1603. It's the oldest operating swimming water pool in Britain. Lewes has several charming and interesting cafes, despite the presence of dull, uninteresting chain cafes in the town. The Ports boast the best breakfast, and it's certainly very, very good. I can attest to that. Then there's the Runaway. Despite attempts by the rapacious railway barons to shut it, this bistro has been on Lewes Station for more than 30 years. Famous for its bacon sandwiches, Princess Di once stopped by for one. My favourite spot, especially at 6 o'clock on a summer morning, is the Priory. The building started in 1084, just 18 years after the Norman invasion. The Priory withstood the Battle of Lewes in 1264 and raids from the French during the 100 Years' War, but fell to the vandalism of Thomas Cromwell in 1535, as Henry VIII dissolved the monasteries. This is the Crown Court, and Assizes has been located in Lewes since early Norman times and has seen many famous trials. Finally, the stocks. Stocks have been used in Lewes for more than 9 centuries. Some say the punishment is still on the statute books. These are old stocks from around the country, but Lewes's stocks still sit in the grounds of the castle. Lots more interesting places in Lewes. If you live here, enjoy exploring. If you're a visitor, take a tour. We're rich in history. Oh, Jenny, what have you been up to?
Yeah, what's on then? Well, it may be a bit of fun, but what the heck? Anything else you want to know about what's going on in Lewes? There's a very good local publication, Viva Lewes, jam-packed full of information of places, events, and the happenings in this little town. Okay, time for my pal Jenry.
He'll never bring you down or leave you alone. Trust him all in all, 'cause he's the light. He'll lead your way through darkest of times. He'll never let you go. And he'll be there for you. And he'll be there for you. He'll never bring you down or leave you alone. Trust him all in all, 'cause he's the light. And he leads your way through darkest of times. He never lets you go. And he'll be there for you. Be there for you. He'll be there for you. Be there for you. And he'll be
A very good day to you. I'm Edward Sticker Squire. If you stay around long enough with Mirador Television, we'll see a lot of one another. This is Lewes Priory. Some people think it's just a pile of old stones. I suppose if you want to see it like that, you can. But between 1084 and 1537, it was a magnificent Cluniac priory. It had its share of troubles. King William didn't want it built at all. Some of the monks and some of the buildings were roughed up when the Battle of Lewes spilled over into its grounds in 1264. The French attacked it during the 100 Years' War of the 14th and 15th centuries. King Henry VIII tried to pull it down in 1537. And the good citizens of Lewes looted the bricks and stones to build other grand houses and homes. But it's still here. These fascinating ruins tell a fascinating story. Their guardian is my friend Genry. Genry is a medieval knight who fought in the Battle of Lewes and now stands vigil over the buildings and grounds. We've become good pals, and he's agreed that over the next series of programs we should tell you about the Priory and the things that have happened here over the past 1,000 years. We also want to put it into context, so we'll mix in stories about Lewes under the Romans and its development with the Saxons. I hope we turn out to be good storytellers, because it's some story. And there's the added bonus of hearing the beautiful voice of our friend Yeva. Mixed in with some ghostly chanting monks and perhaps a little medieval music. I hope it's a program you'll pop in to see from time to time. Must go and see Genry now. We've a lot of planning to do. Okay, Yeva, sing us out. Doodle pip.
He never bring you down or leave you alone. Trust him all in all, 'cause he's the light. He'll lead your way through darkest of times. He'll never let you go. And he'll be there for you. And he'll be there for you.
Oh, there we go. A bit of some of that is a bit out of date, but not much. That's more or less the way the town is. So a lot of those features are still there, including us. So it's now 10:36. Just before we say goodbye, we'll take just a quick look again at the front pages of the newspaper this morning. The Metro, a scar on our police, and that is the story of 30 years have been handed down to the rogue copper who spent much of his police life of 20 years or more raping and pillaging in the name of the coppers. and he's been given 30 years, and immediately there's been a call for that is not enough. This man has offended our sensibilities, and there's no way that he's going to get away with it. There's going to be one hell of a row. The Guardian, same thing, monstrous rapist ex-Met officer jailed for life after years of attacks. The Daily Telegraph, Met rapist lenient sentence to be reviewed. They're not taking this lying down, as it were. The decision of the judge for 30 years is considered far too lenient. Mind you, I mean, I don't think he'll ever come out again. The Eye is a race to find quake survivors. So we're now the updates are that it looks as if there could easily be 20,000 who have died. I think they're up to they were up to confirmed 7,500. Estimates of 10,000 have now been upped to almost 20,000. That is the monumental earthquake. 7.5, I think, a little bit more on the Richter scale. On the Richter scale, this goes to 9. So it shows you the severity of it. And the survivors are still being pulled out. Children, tiny little children, being saved, rescued. But it's a horrific quake. The Times, Life and Death Under the Ruins, it carries on with the story. And the Financial Times actually, it actually shows a picture on its front page of the devastation and somebody standing in the ruins. But their main story is that Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister, is going to break up a business department to sharpen focus on energy and science. They say. So that's what our Rishi is up to, the Prime Minister. And the Daily Mail is well, I have declared this television station a woke-free zone, because the wokes, I mean, not only are they tampering with our language, it's absolute nonsense and rubbish. Language is an evolving, live, vital thing, and they are playing around with it and deliberately altering meanings. It's just beyond the pale. It really is beyond the pale. But the Daily Mail is now even God could be going gender neutral. The Church of England is going to debate whether to stop referring to the Almighty as he. Gender neutral. How daft can you get? But with the present Archbishop of Canterbury, who is tends to be a liberal wishy-washy, is anything can happen. It's just absolutely crazy. Daily Express, distress call and school head and laughter shot dead. As the murder-suicide of a headmaster of a leading independent school. And nobody knows why at the moment. But I'm sure the investigation will reveal all. Mirror, born in earthquake hell again. What they report is that a child is still attached to his mother by umbilical cord where it was found and rescued. Now, this is a naughty story. BP's spoils of war. And this is happening. So almost every big corporation, while bumping up their prices, cutting down on their services, making life miserable for most of us, is now going to show obscene profits. And BP has 23 billion pounds profit. They're all posting profits larger than they've ever been. And it is now beginning to be beyond a joke. I'm a private enterpriser. I understand why profit needs to be made. I'm not a socialist. Don't want to take over. Don't want to strip them of everything. But private enterprise, open market, the sort of economy that we have needs controlling as much as the central planning needs controlling. You cannot have excesses, and this is getting a very silly situation. Very silly indeed. And just to happily we got to return, and this is what the sun tells us, and this I can't see for the moment, but Faulty Towers is coming back. Manuel and John Cleese as the very biased hotel owner, and actually is a breath of fresh air, because a lot of it is so totally politically incorrect. I will welcome it. I will welcome it with open arms, just to start to put some sort of balance back in. I mean, it's just it's absolutely crazy, and why we should have to put up with this woke nonsense, I have no idea. And the Star, God bless it, is life so bloody grim, we've all forgotten how to laugh. Britain is in the grip of a chuckle crisis. In the grip of a chuckle crisis. 42% can't remember the last time they laughed. Experts recommend the Star to cheer you up. Okay, then as we come towards the end of our morning show, I just want to carry on with what I said yesterday. Much as the charity bureaucracy is getting silly, is they all want to have meetings and they want to have committees and they want to have all the things that make them feel important. And in so doing, don't do much for the end of the committee. So when you're asked to put in £3, it's you're told it's going for one thing and it's not. It's going for another. The charities have got to work themselves out. But I have been dealing with a lady who is a ball of fire and very impressive for Parkinson's, because I have Parkinson's. And yesterday I had to rush off to a hospital in Seaford. And what a lovely little place it is. It's a medical centre rather than a hospital. It doesn't have beds. But it's got a fairly young staff, a vibrant staff. They really were delightful in the way that they looked after me. And they made you feel as if you were actually visiting for cocktails or something. And the lady who took me through everything to see whether, in fact, the fact that I can't walk terribly well at the moment is related to my Parkinson's, or whether it's something else. She is very, very thorough, very, very nice indeed. I've forgotten just what a nice, gentle town Seaford is, and they hope that that continues to flourish down there. But I think that Parkinson's is the forgotten. Oh no! Don't misunderstand this. The NHS is doing a lot. They've got specialists, and I have a specialist, a consultant. But there's an awful lot that's written in the papers about how new techniques are coming in, and they're doing this and they're doing that. And when I talk to my consultant, they say, yeah, but basically, it's a lot of it is tentative. It needs money. It needs money to get these things going. Right at this moment, I have a dry mouth. My mouth is dried out, and that's one of the symptoms of Parkinson's. And that's one of the modest symptoms. I have difficulty doing my buttons up. I can't tie my shoelaces. There are all sorts of little things that people with Parkinson's can't do or have difficulty in doing. In my case, it's walking. I have a problem with walking. But I know that there are some, in fact, I must check today because it looked as if an old friend from many, many years ago in Canada who developed Parkinson's looked as if perhaps he will die today. His muscular control is gone. And he is in a bad way. He's in a bad way. And his family are hoping that he will give in a welcome release. I mentioned yesterday that I have a friend who was introduced me to working in the Eastern European countries. And who was also, I didn't know he'd got Parkinson's, but his wife, a lovely Russian lady, she told me that he'd been sent to a nursing home, couldn't stand it there, and so now they're trying to have the house adapted so that he can be at home until his last days. When will my last days be as a result of this dreadful disease? So what I'm saying to you is this. Mirador Television is adopting Parkinson's as its charity of choice. And eventually, yes, I'll be asking you to dig in some money, not to us, but to the Parkinson's Association. And actually not to the Parkinson's Association as such, but to the office that this lady, for whom I have a great deal of time, is associated. There are lots of we have for the longest time we supported Action Cancer, Action Research Cancer, I think it is, which has a charity shop at the bottom of School Hill, which is no more than half a mile from here. We, generally speaking, support the idea of charities. It's once again the application. But we are the Parkinson's charity. And just a reminder, Billy Graham, the famous global evangelist, had Parkinson's. Cassius Clay, otherwise known as Muhammad Ali, he had Parkinson's. Neil Diamond had Parkinson's. And of course, Michael J. Fox, the delightful actor, he had Parkinson's. And he actually has set up the Michael J. Fox Foundation, which does a lot of good work in research. Just so you know, and I shall be an absolute pain in the ass reminding you about Parkinson's, not because I want anything done for myself. Well, yes, I mean, if there were any breakthroughs, of course I would be delighted because it would help me. But that's not the prime reason. The reason is because it's the poor sister, the poor relative, that doesn't get the support which I think it should get. So just think on it. When you think charity and you think Mirador Television, think Parkinson's and give it all the support that you can. There are a number of us that will be grateful, but also it is an awful disease because you can't reverse it. Once you go downhill, you keep going. Yes, I fight it. I fight it tooth and nail every single moment of the day. It's a losing battle, but I'll be damned if I'm going to give in just like that. No, I'm not going to give in just like that. But I need your support. No, I don't. Parkinson's, the organization, needs your support. And we'll start showing places where you can make donations to help those of us with Parkinson's. So at least fight it, not give in to it. I really do. I trip along. I totter along the street. You can never believe it. Someone who's been acting all his life, and I revel in this story because I said to somebody, "Thank God I know that they like me. We're friends." I said, "The trouble is, it makes me look like an old man." And they looked at me with their clear blue eyes and said, "You are an old man." And I've never thought of myself in that way until this that was said. But laughter is the very best thing that you can do for Parkinson's. Laughter. You need it. You need it in your life. Because it helps you overcome all sorts of things. Anyway, I'm not being more than I'm as glass half full as ever. And oh gosh, it's 11 o'clock. And in the White Hart, 11 o'clock is known as Keith's wine time. So I suppose that I'd better go and enjoy Keith's wine time. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. Oh, Liza Page is on deck tomorrow. The Alternative View. Don't miss that. By golly, I'll tell you, she so it tells it like it is. And if anything is anti-woke, it's Liza. Let's say goodbye now before we get too maudlin. All right. Until tomorrow, toodle, toodle, toodle pip. I'm Keith Hayes. This is Mirador Television. the quirkiest bloody television you'll find anywhere on the web, anywhere in the world. We are the biggest little television enterprise in the world. And we are local, but not parochial. We grow on you. We're like Marmite. Some people just love us. Some people hate us. Nobody ever forgets us. Toodle pip. Ta-ra. At 10:57. Wow, we filled the morning. Bye.
Thank you.